Sacco and Feliz, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFeliz.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
LinkedIn is pretty great at a lot of things, like helping you tap into the latest trends and insights in your field. We cannot stop your coworker from tapping her pencil. LinkedIn can help you find new jobs that align with your career goals. We cannot help you find the source of that weird smell in the office fridge. Ew. And while we can't stop your coworkers from bringing their hobbies into the office, LinkedIn can help you bring your career to the next level. LinkedIn is the network that works for you.
A lot of people sick and dying. I'm going to start right there with John Catsimatidis, Mr. at Apple Media, hosts not one but 2 great shows at this station, my buddy, 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon with Rita Cosby, The Great Cats and Cosby Show. His masterpiece, 8 a.m. every Sunday morning, The Cats Round Table. And found out yesterday that Saturday, that Rudy was in the hospital, critical condition, lung embolism, pneumonia. He has turned the corner, I believe. That's what I'm hearing. Speaking to Andrew a couple of times since late last night. But still a scary situation, John, especially for you you've been friends with Rudy Giuliani for the better part of 4 decades.
Well, we're friends a long time. And like friends always do, we always, we argued once in a while, but at the end of the day, we were still friends. And I hope, I'm not talking in the past. I think, he's one tough guy, and he's going to make it through this. Pneumonia at any age is tough. So, I don't know, it's a form of something with his lungs, something with pneumonia. But he's one tough guy. He's going to make it through. It's
interesting. You texted me this morning, because you're a sensitive guy. You're a sweet guy, John. You know I mean that, right? You know I love you. And you're talking about all these people that have passed away, A.R. Bernard's mother, and last week you spoke for Captain Ed Mamet and Chuck Sullivan, and over the last couple of months, Ernie Anastas and Al Thornton, Dick Silverman. And now we find out this morning, I broke it right here, moments ago, that the legendary voice of the Yankees, who hosted a show on this station last baseball season, John Sterling, just passed away this morning. A lot of good people dying as of late, John.
Too many, and it just bothers me. And Sid, we all have to take better care of ourselves. And, we have Dr. Peter Michalos on every Sunday telling us how to take better care of ourselves. And I'm pushing a campaign now at Christini's and D'Agostino that if you eat the right foods, then you will take better care of yourselves. We find out that if you eat beets, I hated beets. I hated beets for a long time. If I used to take 2 blood pressure pills a day. If I have beets, I only have to take 1. Kiwi, we brought in kiwi from New Zealand in those stores, and that's a very, very healthy thing. Yeah. Our Creator, who created us, gave us the food to eat. So, if we don't eat the food, the Iranian people, the Persian people always ate pistachios. Pistachios are very good for you.
Very healthy.
Almonds are very good for you.
Most nuts are very good for you. Most nuts.
Yeah, and so we all have to take better care of ourselves, and that's what bottom line is.
100%. 100%. I mean, some of these people, look, John Sterling, God rest his soul, he was 87, and not that that's old, but, it's 87 is pretty good. I'll sign for that right now. But I was thinking about you this morning, too, because for folks that don't know John Catsimatidis, not only does he own the supermarkets and the oil companies and ABC and the baseball team, he was a pilot. So when I saw this story that Liz Warren helped make happen, but she's a horrible person, Pocahontas, making sure that Spirit Airlines will never fly again. I know Trump is considering buying it. I said, what about John? Let's get back into the airplane business, John. How about Spirit Airlines and we change it to WABC Airlines?
I've been in the aviation business for 40 years, and the old joke was, how to make $100 million in the aviation business?
How?
You start with $1 billion.
That's funny and true, right?
Now, it was true. You know, the Democrats really screwed up in 2024 when they shot down the merger between, what was it, Blue and Spirit, because a few executives might have lost some jobs overhead. But right now, everybody in Spirit lost its jobs.
Yeah,
and they should have made that merger. And the other mistake, I have to comment on management team of Spirit Airlines. When the price of gasoline goes up, the price of jet fuel goes up, you have to raise the price. You can't be America's hero every day. You know, you have to deal with the problems that happen every day.
Yeah, yeah.
If the price of chocolate milk goes up, I'm going to raise the price of chocolate milk. Do I have a choice?
No,
I mean,
you have no choice.
And what's the unfair thing going on in America right now is the price of WTI oil is going up because there's no shortages in America. Zero shortages between Canada and the United States, and drill, baby, drill.
Yeah,
there's no shortages.
No,
and the price should not be up to where it is right now. It's the people that that do the drilling that guess what? They're making $1 zillion right now. And look, it's going to be over. I would say. In about, we said 30 days originally. We said 45 days, but it will be over.
Well, it needs to be over, like you said, with the price of energy, with the midterms looming. And, you know, we saw Warsh last week up on Capitol Hill. He's going to be the replacement, obviously, for the Fed, for Powell. But interest rates are also still way too high, not just energy costs.
You talk about the midterm elections. We need cheap gasoline prices, cheap energy prices. We need lower interest rates. And Powell has been doing a horrible job. And all of a sudden, he announces that even though he's not going to be the Fed governor in the Fed chairman by May 15th, he wants to stay on. Now, nobody stays on. He wants to stay on to break chucks.
That's the only reason why. That's it, right?
That's it. And what we need in November is lower interest rates so everybody can buy a home again at 2.5%. I got a price 2.5% interest rates on my Long Island home. I mean 2.5%. It's great, but you can't pay 4, 5, 6% normal people, and less people are buying homes. That's not fair. And President Trump is trying to get both done. And me and you are both betting on President Trump because I think he will get it done.
Me too. No, me too. You and I are. Look, we're friendly with the president. Obviously, we like him as a person. He likes us. But if there's somebody in the world.
The other thing with these airlines, to satisfy the Biden administration, they hired a lot of people that weren't qualified to fly those airplanes.
DEI. Yep, DEI hires. I mean, you look at this, John. I don't
mind having a porter that with DEI,
right?
But not the guy flying my airplane.
Oh God, no! I mean, look, all the times you flew an airplane, John, I'm going to bet money right now that you never hit a truck or a light pole trying to land your plane. Right? Am I going to win?
Never. And I always flew with qualified co-pilots, and you have to listen. Flying airplanes, flying jets, it's a critical thing. You can't make mistakes. You can make a mistake maybe driving, but you can't make a mistake flying.
No.
And you want to go DEI, restricted to certain industries.
Couldn't agree more. So I want to put a nice little bow on this great conversation. Great job as always today, John. And kind of wrap it up where we started. I want you to comment on two personalities in particular. I did see your tweet about Rudy. You started off the conversation talking about Rudy, but let's kind of end it right there, too. John, with Rudy in the hospital, your thoughts on your friend for a long time, Rudy Giuliani.
He's one tough guy. He was the best mayor that New York ever had. We were down in the sewer in New York. I mean, so far down the sewer, when we looked up, we were still looking down. And they said nobody could bring this city back. Rudy Giuliani brought this city back. And I would say to everybody, never forget, no matter how bad the city gets, the right mayor, the right governor will always bring this city and the state back.
True. That's why Bruce Blakeman has to win. And finally, I know you're a big Yankee guy and very, very friendly with Randy Levine. You're his buddy. I'll be out there tonight with Randy. And you actually...
We're partners with the Yankees and the Ferry Hawks.
Right, the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. And John has partnered up with Randy and the Yankees for that great baseball team and that beautiful stadium. And last year, John, you employed John Sterling. You gave him a job here. You gave John Sterling only wanted to do a talk show one more time. Folks don't know this. I'm gonna tell them right now because I got involved in those conversations. John Sterling only wanted to do a sports talk show one more time. And last summer, John Catsimatidis, you made it happen for him. He died this morning at the age of 87. But you made it happen for him. The last thing he wanted to do at the end of his career, you made happen. You got to feel pretty good about that. What are your thoughts about John Sterling?
He was a great guy. His voice was recognized by millions and millions of people. And, it's like Mickey Mantle. He wanted to play center field one more time. Well, John Sterling wanted to be on the air one more time, so we put him on WABC, the most powerful radio station in America.
Oh, that's great stuff. You really did, John. That was a beautiful thing. So thank you for a great job, as always, this morning. We'll all be listening at 5 o'clock. Terrific job, John Catsimatidis. I love you. Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a great day.
You too. That's Mr. Red Apple Media. And it's true. He's been friends with Rudy Giuliani for the better part of 4 decades. You guys out there that love to stir up stuff and maybe even beret boy that don't know exactly what happens every day. I know you like to make people look really bad. You don't know all the specifics. I do. He loves Rudy. I love Rudy. Rudy loves me. Never had one issue with Rudy Giuliani. Never. And Andrew, his son, and I are about as close as you can get. In fact, I've spoken to Andrew 3 times since 1:48 this morning. So we're all hoping and praying for Rudy Giuliani and certainly John Sterling. John and I, over the years, close, WFAN. And he was on my shows quite a bit. And he came to me last year. And he said, I'd love to do a sports talk show one more time. He said, I'm talking to Chad and John. What do you think? I said, do it. I said, for whatever it's worth, I don't own the station. I'm not the president like Chad, but they do respect how I feel, both John and Chad. And I said, I'll suggest it's a good idea. And I did it. I suggested it was a good idea. And John hired him. And he put on a real good show last summer. And as entertaining as it got when it came to doing baseball games, as far as I'm concerned, nobody better. So rest in peace, our dear friend, John Sterling. You were great. Like Carly Simon says right here, nobody did it better.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
The Marine Toys for Tots foster care program is bringing hope to children who need it most. Every 2 minutes, a child enters foster care, often with only a small bag of belongings. More than 400,000 children face trauma and uncertainty, many before age 8. This May, during Foster Care Awareness Month, Toys for Tots is creating Room for Joy. In 2025, nearly 375,000 children received comfort through toys, books, and essentials, reminding them they are not alone. Donate now and change a child's life.
When Mother's Day means celebrating your mom, your wife, maybe even your daughter as a new mom, trust 1-800-Flowers to help you celebrate every important woman in your life. With double blooms from 1-800-Flowers, order 1 dozen roses and get another dozen for free. It's a simple way to give beautifully, with colorful blooms that make Mother's Day feel meaningful. For every mom you're celebrating, order with confidence and get double blooms at 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify.